Oh my gosh. What a better day. What a better time. Let's do this. Holy cow, do I have audio? Yes, I do. Thank goodness. Guys, oh my gosh. Let's do this. Let's do this, guys. Live stream. So excited. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about the rules of life. I did a whole video that I've updated since then called The Rules of Repair. And I've gotten so many suggestions and so much good knowledge from other people that I have decided to actually write down these things that I've been telling people for a long time. It's called The Rules of Life. So, we're going to go ahead and wait a couple minutes here because this was an unplanned live stream. And that's because I'm going to record this and then I'm just going to go ahead and leave it live. Let's do this. So, I'm going to give it a couple minutes. We'll let some people log in. Again, if you guys have any comments or anything, just go ahead and write them in the chat. I can see the chat, and I'll answer things as I get going. Or if you have any comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them for me. Let's go ahead. Now, mind you, this is going to be one of the most controversial videos I think I've ever made because I believe that some of the things that we're about to talk about may be on the spectrum of political. We'll see. I don't really like to get into politics, guys. I really don't. And in fact, I don't care to argue with any single one of you because when in history has an argument across the internet ever changed anything? And look at this. I'm using my ghost glass today. Woo, look at this. I'm loving it. Guys, Neuropilot, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of more people tuned in soon enough. I'm just chilling today, and I figured let's go ahead and record this. And if anything, this is not going to be my official video on this topic, the rules of life. These are more like guidelines, things that if people follow them, they're probably going to understand a little bit more about the world around them, and maybe some people will stop being some sheep and figure some things out for themselves. All right, it's really not that hard. Oh yes, yes. There's some good 25-year rum for you. Oh my gosh, what a day. All right, so this, guys, I'm gonna use this video here for you guys to help me write this one because I normally will sit in the dark and write some of these speeches that I give around the entire country. But this one here, I'm going to talk to you guys about it as I'm doing it so that you guys can maybe help me refine this, okay? So right now, I know that I have more things that I tell people. I think I only have 8 or 9 rules written down so far. I would like to get 10 or 12 or something. Maybe 8 is all it takes. I don't know. We'll see. I get some excellent advice from you guys. So, but again, this is the rules of life, and so these are generic sayings and generic lines of ethics that if you follow them, you'll probably be more successful in life, or you'll probably understand a little bit more about life yourself. We'll see. Oh, that's some good rum. All right. So let's see. It's 5:42. Let's wait just a couple more minutes, okay? You guys that are tuning in, can you please write over in the chat box where you're calling in from, where you're viewing from? Because you know, one of the most interesting and fascinating things about this career field is the fact that I got people from all over the world that are watching. And if anything, you know, some of the viewers are going to meet other viewers from their region, maybe ask questions live and stuff, which has happened. Maybe from now on, this is how I'm going to write my speeches, as I'm going to tell you guys what I'm thinking, and you guys can help me refine it. Maybe we'll write these speeches together. San Francisco. All right. All right. Oh my gosh, that's so fantastic. It is a very big week for the Better Biomed channel, guys. It has been a massive week last week. I had the MD Expo, which went really well. And guys, there is something I have to say. I put out a LinkedIn post earlier this last week that talked about how I didn't necessarily even say I'm on the job market. What I said is I'm putting this post out there for myself. I'm testing the waters and just seeing what opportunities are out there. That's pretty much all I said. And the whole internet just blew up. What's going on? Oh my God, what a nightmare. It is better. That's why I'm drinking rum. Oh my gosh, guys. This week, what happened? There's so many rumors about like how I'm leaving Phoebe, and there was rumors about like how everything must be falling apart over there and all this. And I'm just sitting back like, what are you guys talking about? Just because I put a post out that says what opportunities are out there. Yes, I'm not closing any doors. I never do. I tell every employer when I sign up for them that I don't close any doors. Okay? I'm not necessarily looking for jobs, but at the same time, I mean, I encourage all technicians, even my technicians, my own team, if I don't have the ability for my own team to meet their goals in their career, in their life, I will help you find another job. I will. If I see somebody that's absolutely promising, they say, hey, I want to get into imaging, and I currently don't have any imaging contracts, I'm going to help you find, I know lots of imaging companies. I will help you get a job. Maybe someday I'll go into imaging. But guys, that's how this works. That's how this career field works. I don't care about the baby boomers and their, oh, you're not loyal to nothing. Show me a company that's loyal to you. Show me one single company that's loyal to you, and I will laugh at you. It's not the way the world works. And the fact of the matter is your career is for you. Your career is for you. And nobody else cares about you like you should. All right? So your career is for you. Nobody else cares about you getting to meet your goals other than you. And that applies to me too. Guys, I absolutely love my job. I love what I do over at Phoebe. I love the freedom that I've been given to do stuff like this for you. And you know, I wrote one little post and I was saying like, what is out there? Because I lead by example. I encourage everybody every once in a while to test the waters and see what's out there. Where do you want to go in your career? Where do you want to go in life? If you're there, if you're currently there, bless your heart. Bless your heart. I'm so happy for you. Some people will go 30 years doing infusion pumps, and if that's what makes them happy, go do you. You do you. Nobody's looking down at you. That's not me. That's not me, man. As you guys can tell, like I love tech. I love doing new things. I love meeting cool people. Phoebe's given me the opportunity to do that. And I thank them gratefully for that. But for all I know, maybe another company wants to come into Texas and maybe they're looking for an executive or a team leader or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. So of course, every once in a while, I'm going to put something out there. But oh my gosh, everybody was like calling my bosses. I swear to God, like my boss, Keith from Phoebe, a lot of people in the industry know him. And when I put that post out there, people were like calling him and stuff. I was even standing there while his phone's blowing up. It's like, just because I post something out there that says, hey, I'm just curious what opportunities are out there, doesn't mean that the world's falling apart. It doesn't. So guys, all I'm saying is, like, I can never promise that I'm always going to be with this company or that company. I would never make that promise. But what I can say is that I'm pretty content where I am in life, and at the same time, I'm curious. Aren't you guys curious? Like, don't you guys wonder like where you can go? I don't know about you guys, but my goal is to change I want to say the clinical engineering. I'm not even going to say that little three-letter thing because I don't represent that. I represent clinical engineering as a whole. All of you, imaging, biomeds, all you field technicians. I represent all that. I'm not just like a technology manager or whatever. But guys, the world's not falling apart, all right? And I encourage you guys every once in a while to reach out there and test the waters and just see what's available. And if you're absolutely happy with where you are in life, bless your heart. Much of the world is not there. So if you're happy, good for you, man. I support you 100%. For the rest of the 95% of the world, every once in a while, test the waters. Test the waters. Why do you think I do like my employment posts, which are normally kind of generic? I say like I have a technician in Orlando who's a 16-year veteran. He's looking for this type of position. I keep it generic for a reason, because people aren't calling their boss and blowing up the world. Oh my gosh, but I can't help that. You know, that's the relationship that I have with you guys, is the fact that a lot of people are following my posts and stuff, and because of that, there's nothing I can do that is hidden. Nothing. So I might as well just put it out there. You know, I don't want any rumors. So if I put it out there that, hey, what's out there in this world, I'm curious. I'm really curious. And I tell you what, no matter what, if somebody said like, hey, you know, we want you to run, you know, the western region of our business model, or we want you to come do videos for my company or something, I mean, that's it. Somebody said you're just hiding the fact that your company is falling apart. It's definitely not. I'll tell you, here's the fact, is my company this year had the largest year ever. The largest year ever. And because I'm vice president of services, I see all the numbers. We had the biggest year ever, and now we added several other modalities, and I've got a whole nother business model. Now, does that mean that I'm not going to start my own company? I'm not going to say that. In fact, after I made that social media post, I am extremely happy with the support that I have been given by you guys, the community. I'm dead serious. Like, I had several people reach out to me and say, Justin, you need to start your own company, and I'll support you to do it. And I was like, holy cow. That's kind of intimidating when people say that, especially, you know, when they're from like billion-dollar companies. But I appreciate that. And, you know, these kind of business relationships going forward. I don't know. Maybe someday I will start my biomed company. Maybe that's tomorrow. I don't know. I will never throw that out, though. I have this company, Better Biomed, but maybe I don't know. I don't really want to push a PM card around anymore. Not saying I don't want to do PMs. I just don't want to like do infusion pumps or anything. But maybe I go into imaging, or maybe I go into some sort of specialty. Who knows? I don't know. That's why I put it out there. That's why I want to put it out there. I do know like everything blew up though. Guys, what the happened? Oh my God, it blew up. Oh, people writing me, people calling my coworkers, people calling my boss. Holy cow. Wow, guys, that's wild. That's wild. Well, I appreciate that some of y'all are concerned. Some people just wanted to get some dirt. There's no dirt to be had, guys. It just is what it is. And trust me, if I'm leaving because the company's falling apart, I'm pretty sure the whole industry would know if that was a fact. But it's not. It's not. I'm still here. Although, you know, today I'm wearing my shirt. It's only got my logo on it. Normally I had the Phobie logo on the other side. But that's because I'm recording special videos. And today, let's go ahead and get right into it. Today we're going to do the rules of life. All right. Let's go ahead and close this one down. And let's pull up my downloads. There we go. Okay, so guys, mind you, this is a work in progress, which is why I'm doing it live with you guys. So as I read these off, I don't really, how should I say this? I don't really want to hear your political opinion, even if it conflicts with mine. I don't want to hear it. Doesn't matter. Now, if you want to help me refine one of these points to make it better, yeah, let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. But some people just want to, like, you know, try and get one over on me. You'd be surprised how many people write and, like, you were wrong on this point, or you embarrass your career field. You'd be surprised some of the stuff that I hear from people. It's wild. It's wild. Some of y'all that wrote me over the years. Holy cow, some of you guys have no life. And that took forever to open this one simple Word document. All right. That's so stupid. All right. Rules of life. Now, this is something that I've talked with several people on, and this is a core of sales. It's a core of pretty much anything in your life is this one point, and that is, let's call it rule number one. People buy into what they relate to. If someone sees something regularly in their life, they're much more likely to buy into it. Now, what does that mean? Well, guys, what that means is that's why commercials and stuff, they try and throw it up everywhere so that you can see this product or see something happening constantly. It used to be infamous with like cigarettes. They used to have cigarettes in every TV show and every ad and whatnot, and they would do that on purposely so everybody thought it was okay to do it. It's socially acceptable. It's the cool thing to do. It worked. It worked. See, the fact of the matter is people relate to it because they've seen it everywhere in their life. And now I can tell you, I live in Texas, and not too many people smoke. I walk around all over the place. I meet people all over the place. And I would say a fraction of the population smokes because we don't see it that often anymore. Case in point. But guys, this whole thing, people buy into what they relate to. It's not necessarily about buying products. It's also about buying into you as a person. Now, one of the things that I do with my biomeds is I will, when they're on my team, if I assign them a region of a medical facility, let's say PACU pre-op, I will go into PACU and pre-op because I inspect their areas regularly, and I'll ask them, who's your biomed? They should know your name. And if they don't know your name, that means you're not doing your sweeps. And if you're not doing your sweeps, then they can't relate to you. You need to establish that rapport with your customers. If they see you often enough, they relate to you. And if they relate to you, they're more apt to help you complete your mission, whatever it is. If your mission is sell them some products, they're more apt to buy from you. And if there's a product that they see every single day, that's why I want to do videos for products, is because if people see me use like a certain type of safety analyzer in all my videos, they're more apt to buy it because they see it. They see people using it, they relate to it, versus just something that you see at a trade show. Fact. All right, people buy into what they relate to. So that is my first point. Oh, hold on, let me bring it back. Okay, rule number two. Now this is something that somebody told me, and it is so true. If you see something, say something. Now somebody asked me to add this to my rules of repair, and it's not really something that applies to repair, but it applies to life. If you see something wrong, say something. Say something to somebody, even if you don't want to be the one that speaks up about it. Say something to somebody else that does have the gumption to speak up about it. Because otherwise, nobody's going to give a damn. Nobody's going to give a damn. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get killed. It's going to cost more money than it should. If you see something wrong, say something. Now, I can tell you for a fact. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. But first, my ghost glass again. It's kind of trippy when I see that on my screen. Yes. So, when I was in South Carolina, I was the head of the OR team. We had, I don't know, 30, 40 OR, something like that. And I had a team of people. And in January of this particular year, I noticed that they were putting the skull clamps. It's a fixture that screws into the skull, and it maintains your neck orientation at a specific angle, for the doctor. Well, what they were doing is they're taking this skull clamp, and they were taking it and putting it out in the hallway with blood and brain material and stuff on it. It's used in neurosurgery, when they got a cut in your skull. This fixture was sitting in the hallway, usually like on the mats next to the doctor's scrub sink, with material on it. And this particular hospital was also a children's hospital, which means that parents they'd gown up and they would carry or follow their children down that same hallway, walk them to the OR where they would put their children on a surgical table and entrust this hospital with their child's life. I don't know about you guys, but if I walked down the hallway of an operating room and I seen a metal fixture sitting there in the hallway with blood and brain material just kind of dripping off it, I would pick my child up and I would immediately leave. Trust is gone. So in January, I seen this happen. I was like, what the hell is this? Now, you guys that aren't familiar with operating rooms, all contaminated objects need to be contained when they leave the OR. There's usually large metal cabinets that they wheel into an OR, they stick all their dirty instrumentation in it, then they close the doors, and now they can exit the OR and go down to where those materials are scrubbed and cleaned. But by sticking this fixture in the hallway and then they clean the inside of the OR, they're possibly contaminating the entire hallway. And what makes it even worse is that when they clean the OR room, the precautions that are normally on the door, which are droplet precautions, tuberculosis, whatever, those are gone. As soon as they clean the OR, they take the precautions off the door and they reset the room, but there is a contaminated thing in the hallway. And it could, and I don't want to say often does, but it could have like AIDS, HIV in the blood. Because a lot of these people that have some of these real bad sicknesses, they're really sick. And if they're really sick, you don't know what they have. And sometimes it's really nasty. But you don't know what it is because they took the precautions off the door because they cleaned the room. But here's this metal object in the hallway. And I've got photos. I've got photos, guys. So here's what happened. That was in January. I let it go. I wrote an email to the OR director, the nursing manager, and biomed, and I said, this is what I found with the photos attached in the email. Mind you, guys, I always recommend having a CYA folder in your Outlook. So when you write an email or something like that, you archive it. Save it in CYA. Pro tip. Anyway, January, I snapped photos of it. February, I snapped photos of it. They're still doing the same thing. And it was multiple OR rooms doing it at the same time, which means it is not one person that is doing this thing. It is multiple people. It is now a cultural problem. It's a culture within the OR. Their brains just flew out because they lost their sense of sensibility, because in no way should any normal human being see something bloody in the hallway and think it's okay. But these idiots did it, and they did it for 4 months. 4 months. It got to be mid-April. I seen it still happening. I got real upset. And I took some more photos of it, and I sent an email to the OR director, and I sent an email to biomed, and I think I sent it to infection control. Mind you, infection control was brought in on this multiple times. They didn't do shit, all right? Infection control in most facilities, and I'm saying this honestly, is a joke. And I'm saying it honestly. It's not just the facilities I work at. It's true. It's true. It's a checkbox that they have to have in order to get that fancy CMS money from the government. That's what it is in most facilities, because they will hide stuff if they can. That's a promise. And I'm saying that from history. So at this particular facility, now this was a very reputable facility over on the East Coast. In April, I seen it happen again. I snapped photos of it again, close, far away, brain material hanging off it, etc. And I attached photos from the previous months showing all the other times that this has been happening. And the OR director, I actually, in that email, I wish I could read it. I think I have it archived someplace, because CYA folder archived. I actually said in the email that this is continuing to happen. It's happening in multiple ORs. It seems to be a cultural issue. I told you guys back in January that this needs to stop. Nobody has done anything to stop it. If I see this happen one more time, I'm contacting DHEC, which is Department of Health and whatnot. And anyway, the OR director immediately went down to my boss, down to Biomed, and spent more time trying to get me fired for threatening him than he did trying to fix the problem. Facts. He went immediately down to the OR. If I was him, I would go immediately to the OR, up to the front desk. I almost never seen this guy doing walkthroughs of the OR. What type of OR director almost never walks through the OR? A POS. That's who. A POS. I'm telling you right now, if you don't even walk through the area that you're responsible for, you're garbage as a manager. And that's for any of you. Anybody that's a manager of an area and you never walk through to see what's going on in the area you're responsible for, you're a POS. So anyway, I know I'm sidetracking, but you're going to see this all comes to a head. He went down to my boss and spent more time trying to get me fired than he did trying to figure out why this is happening. Facts. So from there on, in South Carolina, at this particular facility, anything that could happen, he was trying to get me written up for, even though it might not even have been me, even though it's something I could prove was somebody else's responsibility, like user maintenance or something. He continued to try and get me written up. And at one time, the biomeds, even though everybody said it never happened, everybody that was in the room, they still said this is a precautionary thing. We're going to write you up anyway. And I said, okay, you write me up, I'm gone. And I'm in Texas, so it must have happened, right? So they did. They continued to write me up. It was to appease the OR director because that one time that I said I'm going to contact DHEC if I continue to see this. But that should just go to tell you. All right, guys. So it is something that you have to be aware of. If you see something, say something. And sometimes you have to be prepared to fall on that sword. Because if you say something, in my experience, most hospitals are going to try and cover it up. Facts. Most hospitals are going to try and cover it up. If it's an infection control hazard, all they see is dollar signs like going out the window, and they immediately try and cover it up, and that might mean you. That might mean you. That might mean your job might be cut. For whatever reason, you're going to be on the chop block. So be careful. But at the same time, yes, I'm in a better place today. But I had to move my family across the country. At the point that it got that political, I could no longer handle it. There's no reason. Nobody should have to live like that. I came to Texas, and Texas has been fantastic. Smarter people in Texas, by the way. I have to admit that. There's definitely some real smart people here. But guys, if you see something, say something. The good side of it is that this company, well, they changed some things. Okay, so this hospital, they have changed their format. They implemented new processes because I threatened to contact DHEC. They started doing it the right way. They started sanitizing things the correct way and documenting it. And I'm not there anymore, but I'll tell you for a fact, they changed their ways. There is no way that this is sitting outside the OR anymore. Facts. Okay, guys? All right, so let's see. That was rule number 2. If you see something, say something. Just get prepared because it could get political, but at the same time, we're instruments of change, right? We're here for patient safety. All right? So if you see something that's unsafe, you got to say something. Let's see. I really hope more people get to hear the important things you say. Well, Marius, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know I'm talking quite a bit. I've had a lot of caffeine today. Some of those Cubano cafes. I went to a South American place to eat for lunch, and man, oh, those strong coffees, it's so good. Man, I'm a big fan. I actually just graduated this past Tuesday. Saul, you just graduated. Congratulations, man. Welcome to the machine. Welcome to the Thunderdome. You're going to love this career field. That's a promise. Mr. Saul, let me know if you need any help whatsoever finding a job. I'll help you. No problem. I'm from Washington State. Cut my teeth in open heart in California. Carrie, Brian, I love heart surgery. I love all surgery, but heart surgery is really important stuff, man. And even more so is pediatric cardiac. Pediatric cardiac is even crazier because with pediatrics, you only have moments to solve the problem. Adults, you know, you have more blood, you can control your body temperature more, you respond much more slowly to medications. Pediatrics, like, they could die like in moments. So you have to be on your game with pediatrics. I love pediatrics, man. I love the challenge. Congratulations, Mr. Saul. That makes me so happy when I see that. If you got in this field for the money, that's the wrong reason. Well, I can tell you, there are ways to make money in this career field. And that is a fact. Fact. You can make some money in this career field. I know people that are millionaires, all right? Of course, they started their own businesses and they worked their asses off. But they made the money, all right? And they have respect. They have my respect, you know? Of course, then again, Biomed ones have my respect. They do their work and they do it well. They have my respect. No problem. You don't have to be no millionaire. But we love what we do. We solve problems. That's what we do. Saul, you were in Houston. What? I serve biomedical. Mr. Saul, I'll tell you what. Coming up in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have a biomed meetup. I don't know when or where. I'm gonna get with my team, all my previous teammates and stuff. We meet up and they bring their friends from, you know, their current biomed shops, because we all kind of split off and went to other hospitals. We do meetups here in Houston. We'll pick a pub or something. We'll meet up. I'll usually sponsor a few rounds of drinks. A few. It's usually a good time. But we have a blast. So, Saul, welcome to the Houston community. Why don't you come to my next meetup? I'll announce it on my site here. So just stay tuned, all right? There are some excellent opportunities. You're absolutely correct. Copy emails to your local. Yes, I copy my emails and I save them locally. Google Drive. Google Drive. 100%. 100%, guys. Okay, guys. Rule number 3. Mind you, this is the rules of life. Okay? Rule number 3. This is pretty big. Everyone has their motives. Everyone has their motives. All right? If somebody suddenly does something for you out of the ordinary, they want something from you. That's not necessarily a bad thing. But you need to find out what's their motive before committing. Now, there are many, many things that surround this one, all right? Everyone has their motives. That could be an opportunity for you. It could be huge. Their motive might be that they want to improve their team. So they're doing something to try and, you know, coach you to be a better technician, because maybe one day they want you to be on their team. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, everybody has their motives. Maybe they just want you to be associated with them. It's hard to say. Maybe they want you to buy something from them. Pretty common. But remember, everybody has their motives. Now, the reason I wrote this one down is because I was talking to a female biomed, and she was talking about how a lot of guys were trying to buy drinks for her at an event and stuff. And I told her, everybody has their motives. Now, you just got to figure out what it is. Now, I'm not saying that everything is sexual in nature. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying everybody has their motives. If people are buying you drink after drink after drink, why? Why are they doing it? Especially if they don't drink. If they don't drink and they just keep buying you drinks, that's sus. All right, guys, and this is something that you have to be aware of. If people are doing something for you that they don't normally do, why? Why are they doing it? And this doesn't, you don't have to be like offended by things. You just have to be aware and start questioning, like, why is this happening? It's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe they want to be associated with you, but they still have their motives. Figure it out what it is. Long-term CYA folder. Yes, that is absolutely true. I got it in the field just to better my situation in the future. Izzy, hope that is the case. We've all paid our dues along the way, man. And blood. You guys are wondering. I don't know if you can see when I'm talking with my hands are absolutely cut up. You can't even see. It's because I have a new kitty in my life. And, you know, apparently this one here likes to bite and claw. And, you know, so if I'm talking with my hands, you're like, God, this dude's hands are all cut up. It's the cat's fault. It's the cat. Is it normal for remuneration to flow from work as long as you don't put people's life at risk? That's a complex question. I don't know how to answer that. One of my friend's daughters caught a neurosurgical attending not doing pre-surgical checklist properly. Ooh, no. She called the chief. Now that might be a tough one. I don't take things all the way to the top when I see it. I usually take it to the local level, you know? You don't just jump all the way to the top. But when you see something that's a systemic issue, when you see something that's a cultural issue, like abusing equipment or something, the director needs to know, all right? If something's an infection control hazard, I have the professional courtesy to let the director know, hey, this is what's going on in your department. I don't immediately go to infection control. I have the right to, just like I have the right to contact DHEC. If I see something that's really effed up, I should contact DHEC immediately. But the professional courtesy is to let the local nursing representative or nursing manager or your OR director, let them know. I mean, but it didn't work out. They just didn't care. And I should have known they wouldn't care because he never walked through the ORs and he never cared to even know what's going on in his department. I should have known. Still, professional courtesy. Congrats, Marius, by the way. Hope you're very successful in this field. I do too, man. 36 years, Mr. Carey Bryant. And I'll tell you what, I absolutely love it. 20 years and then some. And I love it as well. Chief pulled the attending neurosurgeon out there and another neurosurgeon attending took over and proceeded as per the checklist. No effing around, that's for sure. Because neurosurgery, that's somebody's life. All right. Facts. All right. Okay, guys, let's see. We went over, okay, rule number 1, people buy into what they relate to. That's a very important one. You can relate that to anything in life, which means people are more likely to take your side or work with you if they can relate to it in some way. That's why I do videos. I do videos because people see me, they see what type of person I am, and they can relate to me. And because of that, I can get business done probably better than most salespeople because they relate to me. They already kind of know who I am, even though I might not have any idea who they are. If they see it, they can relate to it, and they're more likely to buy into it. Rule number 2 is see something, say something. Rule number 3, everyone has their motives. Rule number 4, this is another basis to everything in your life. Follow the money. Follow the money. Why are people in denial about this? Follow the money. All major decisions are based around money. Every major decision in your life, maybe not made by you, but by the people, by the companies, by the hospitals, by other countries, every single decision revolves around money. No decision is as simple as it's for the good of the community. True about business agreements, employment, taxes, generosity, social programs, and even public health decisions. Follow the money, guys. Follow the money. Whenever something is going on and it starts getting a little fishy, you start being like, why are we doing this all of a sudden? Why are we switching from this brand of sensor to this one when that one's more expensive? Follow the money. Follow the money. How many backhanded deals do you guys know of? People buying people vacations. I know somebody that got a boat. I mean, follow the money. There's reasons for things. Not everything is corrupt, but there's always a financial decision. Follow the money. It's probably one of the more basic things that everybody should know, and that people are in denial. And I can honestly tell you, like, when we're talking about, like, even this whole COVID garbage that we went through, and this is the most political thing I'm going to say on here, follow the money. Billions and billions of dollars were being made over selling something that is arguable whether or not it even works. Follow the money, and I don't give a single garbage about your opinion on it. People made billions. Billions. That wasn't for free. People lobbied. People pressed politicians and whatnot. People shut down entire local governments for political decisions and whatnot. It's all based on money. It's all based on money. Every decision throughout history has had money as the basis of it in one way or the other, and some people are still in denial. And I don't care. I've seen plenty of waste. There's so much waste. I can tell you, even things like rubber gloves. I got a whole pack of them over here. Rubber gloves, they'll buy like an entire giant case of them, a pallet. It's like, these things, they have a shelf life. They have a shelf life. They do expire, but somebody got to go and fly out to California and Napa Valley and have a good wine tour and be catered to and whatnot in order to get those glove orders. I've seen it. I've seen it. Follow the money. There's always money to every stupid ass decision that's being made in this life. There is money that is behind it. Follow the money. Why are people in denial? So guys, that is my rule number 4. Follow the money. I could go on and on about that one for an hour. Follow the money, guys. Every decision. Now, if somebody like all of a sudden makes a business decision, like people get laid off or something, follow the money. Why did they get laid off? It could be because the company's trying to clean their books for a buyout. When they're like, no, we're not going to buy out. We're not going to sell out. And all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, you find out, wait a minute, they shut off stock options and they are being bought out. Follow the money. There's a money thing behind it. All right, the next one. The next one is a general rule that has existed for a long, long time. People still don't know this exists. It's a little known rule called Occam's razor. All right? Occam's razor is it's let's call it a theory, but one that's kind of proven true. All right? And it says the simplest of 2 conclusions is usually the most correct. In other words, either Justin got a flat tire and he got the flu in the same day, or he just didn't want to wake up and come to work. Either your girlfriend went off drinking with her lady friends and she stayed over at their house and she didn't answer her phone, or she might be messing around on you. Occam's razor. Guys, I'm telling you, anything in life, the simplest of 2 conclusions is usually the most correct. You can apply this to anything. It doesn't have to be about who's lying and who's telling the truth. It could be about decisions that you make in life. Now, they call it a gut feeling as well. So if you have a really complex thing, like I need to buy this and then sell it and then do this in order to get the money in order to do that, or I can just continue working for a couple weeks and save that money, and I'll have enough to make it without having to do all this other garbage. The simplest of 2 conclusions is usually the most correct, and that includes risk. All right? Occam's razor. It's so important, and I use that all the time throughout my life. Latvia, Marcis. Thank you, man. He says, hi, greetings from Latvia. You're an inspiration for me. I'm leading a hospital BMET team and can learn a lot from you. Well, thank you. Kind of surprised about that one. Any learning materials, video lectures to review, equipment diagnostics, repair? Well, we're going to be doing some more of that. And here's my ghost glass again, guys, because bottoms up. Oh, my gosh, so good. Life follows the path with least resistance. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to get to that in just a moment. I had a phone I had a tech one time tell me he was late because his phone clock was changed by Apple. Like daylight savings? I don't know. Yeah, because Apple is going to do that. Because if they change your time, they change every. It wouldn't be Apple. It would be his carrier. So it'd be Verizon or somebody like that. Apple doesn't change your time. Your carrier is who changes your time. That guy's wrong. So when you change time zones and stuff, it's not like magically like Apple or Samsung is like, oh, I better go change their time real quick. No, it's because the broadcast tower has a time associated with the handshake. So when your phone handshakes with that tower, it takes the local time and stuff. It does that for security reasons and whatnot too. So anyway, yeah, that's true. Okay, so follow the money, Occam's razor, and then here's one. And I'm a firm believer in this. Behavior is contagious. Think about that one. Behavior is contagious. Passion, hate, love, honor, dedication, laughter, grief. They're all contagious. We all have a direct effect on our community. If you set an example and you're passionate about life, people will just naturally gravitate towards you. Most people want the same thing in life as you. It's true. Now, they might have a different means of obtaining that, but they all kind of want the same thing as you. We all have different ways of reaching that goal, but they all kind of want the same as you. So here's a complex thing. And when I wrote this one, I was in an airport a week ago. And this is something I honestly believe in. If you have 10 people in a room and you have 9 people picking up trash and putting it in the trash can, and there's one guy standing off at the side, that one person is more apt to bend over and start picking up with everybody else than to stand over there alone. Here's where it changes. If you have 8 people out of 10 walking around a room, picking up trash and putting it in the trash can, but you've got one guy that stands over there at the side, and he's like, that's not my trash, I'm not going to do that. And he looks over at the other guy. Behavior is contagious. If you took the same 10 people and 9 of them were picking up trash and one guy was left out, he would assimilate to the other ones and he'd start picking up trash too, almost always. If you have one guy stand back and be like, I'm not going to do that, or these guys are idiots, I'm not going to do what they're doing, it's contagious. Then this guy's going to be like, oh, I'm not going to do it either. And then somebody else is going to stop picking up trash and they're going to be like, you know something? They're not picking up trash. I'm not going to pick up you guys' trash. I'm not going to do it either. And eventually the whole entire room is not going to pick up trash. Maybe 1 or 2, because, we all have embedded different ethics. But behavior is contagious. If you're passionate about something, you love something, you can inspire passion and love in people. Your family is a perfect example. But if you are in a work environment and somebody is just the bad apple, they refuse to close work orders, or they say, I'm not going to deploy, I shouldn't have to do this. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, they're deploying because they realize this is a team effort. One guy sits back and says, you guys are idiots, I'm not going to do that, or like, I refuse to do it. That one bad apple is going to encourage bad behavior in the rest of the team, guaranteed. You have to fix it. As soon as you see that, you have to fix it. Behavior is contagious. That can be good or it could be bad. You have to think about that, guys. Because a lot of people, they think that, oh, just good behavior is contagious. No, bad behavior is twice as contagious. It's really bad. Sometimes bad behavior is necessary. Sometimes we're asked to do some absolutely ridiculous things. Things that are bad for morale, things that are ethically complex. Now, I myself, as a team leader, I was asked to close work orders on a device that was not safe for patient use. And I told my manager, I've got it on video, I told my manager I will not close these work orders. And my teammates will not close those work orders either. Now, it's true, the manager could have went around me and said, guys, I want you to close these work orders, but behavior is contagious. If they see their team leader saying, no, we are not going to do this, they're all going to stand in line and they're going to say, no, we're not going to do that either. But if the team leader folds, if they look to you as a example, as a mentor, and if you fold, if your ethics fold for even one moment, it folds with your team. Guaranteed. So that's why they say lead by example. Behavior is contagious. Let's see. Well, I come from the right to repair movement. I studied programming and I work more as a photographer. Good for you. Definitely haven't saved anybody's life, but you never know when you will. How about that? Most people that save people's life, it happens in an instant. The skills that you're building now and for the rest of your life is a tool in your toolbox for in case that incident happens. I hope it doesn't. But if it does, at least you're going to be prepared here and here. You're going to build up those skills. I have always ran my shops with respect and never treated my techs beneath me. Mr. Carey, thank you. Thank you. I believe at my very core that if my team is going to do something, I am prepared to do it as well. Now that means with time changes, you have to go in the middle of the night and change times. Well, if you have 100 and some OR rooms, you can imagine you're going to be there hours, all right? I was at every single time change. Yes, I could have just gave those instructions to my team and I could have said, guys, make this happen. But that is bad behavior. If you're going to make your team do something, if you're truly a team, the leader of the team should be there as well. And I'm going to even go as far as to say you should be the first one to show up and the last one to leave. That might be the military side of me, but it's the truth. So if you're going to have your team come in the middle of the night and do a project, be prepared to do it yourself, or at least call and check on them or something. I'm prepared to always do what I dispatch my teammates to do. And as you guys have seen from some of these videos, I myself, just a few weeks ago, dispatched across the entire state of Texas to Lubbock. And I was working on everything from infusion pumps to baby warmers and whatnot. And I'm vice president of a medical company. I'm prepared to do it. Absolutely. My team dispatches over there. I wanted to go and see what kind of environment my teammates were working in for months on end. So I went over for a week and I did it too. I have no problem with that. In fact, I kind of love it. Kind of love it. I like working on stuff. Let's see. I haven't used it in years, so the clock has had issues. You know something? On modern day OS systems, if your time is off on your computer, you will have Windows security errors and a whole bunch of other possible errors because your security of your modern day Windows machine is based on the time of the computer. So if your time's off, you're going to have problems. Just remember that. So if you start having those coin cell batteries go bad, could be the source of some of your problems. Always try to foster a team environment. I want techs to enjoy coming to work. My expectation for my senior techs was that they're to take the younger techs under their wings. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because how else are they going to achieve your standards, whatever they are? Mind you, they might have their own set of ethics when they come into their career field, but what are your expectations? Your expectations could be a variety of things, right? They don't know. Set an example. Lead by example. By the way, like the stream, people, so more to get to see it. I'm sure YouTube won't push important topics by itself. Well, that's interesting. This is just an impromptu. None of this is scripted, guys. None of this. Medical right to repair is very much needed. It's happening, guys. I can't talk about everything I know, but I know that some things are happening. Definitely some movement, guys, towards our favor. It's outrageous the state things are in. Oh no, I'm running out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Cheers. All right. So let's see. We got rule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rule 6 was behavior is contagious. Rule 7. Now this relates to something that some of you guys already talked about. Luck favors those that are prepared. Life is already enough of a gamble. Forethought and preparation allow you to maintain better control of your life. Why not minimize the unexpected risks and maximize living your life? What does that mean? It means just a little bit of preparation and planning will get you so much further down the road, whether that's your career, whether that's how to handle a storm, whether or not that's even how to handle your relationship. A little bit of planning will go a long, long way. A lot of people just don't do that. Maybe I'm a little overly cautious. All right? I have a plan for a plan. It's true. Like I've got like 100-mile-per-hour rain gear in my car. I've got extra waters. I've got I've got even firearms and stuff in my car. You know, they're locked up and everything, but they're there. I have extra socks in case I have to walk home from anywhere. And it's true. I've been in floods. I've been in freezing when they shut down all the roads. I will still get home. Now, preparation isn't necessarily just about that. It's also, how many of you guys go into an interview ill-prepared? Most of you? Most of you? When I go into an interview, if it's for a company, I know if it's a publicly traded company, I know what their stock prices are historically. I know what their valuation is as a company. I know their region of responsibility. I know roundabout many of the people that are going to be at that company through LinkedIn. I do my research before I even have the interview. I will even refer to people by name during the interview. Like, yeah, I know that such and such is in charge of this team, or such and such is your CFO. I know a lot of that because I do a lot of research before I interview. Preparation. Luck favors those who are prepared, which means I am much more likely to obtain the job because I did my research than the people that didn't. Think about it. You can refer this to any type of thing, even financial stuff, job stuff, healthcare stuff. I mean, think about it. You guys, you think you could just eat a double cheeseburger for every meal of your life and not expect to have high blood pressure and cardiac problems? What? Think about it. Prepare just a little bit. And some of you guys need to prepare up here. Some of you guys need to prepare for that next incident that might happen up here. I have been a biomed during a war. I have been through almost every type of emergency that most people could think of during surgeries. From the power going out, to a hurricane, to a fire happening inside the wall, to a patient's heart trying to start when it shouldn't. I have been through so many different things. But what helped me out the most is being prepared up here. I knew where my flashlights were at. I knew where my multimeter was at. It was always charged. It was always ready. My tools in my tool bag are always organized. There's nothing worse than sifting around, sometimes in the dark, for where a tool should be at in your tool bag. I know where it's at. I can reach in my tool bag, completely blindfolded, and I can find the tool. That's a promise. And that preparation, you know, I in my rules of repair, I say you should always prepare for the things that you can predict, because the unpredictable will still happen. Well, that carries on into life. And that's why I say luck favors the prepared. So guys, think about that. You should prepare for things in your life, for almost every situation. I can walk into a restaurant and I can tell you if there's going to be some sort of conflict. I can tell because I read body language and stuff from the moment I walk in. I've walked out of establishments because I sensed that the air was not right in there. Always prepare, all right? And minimize the unpredictable stuff, because the predictable still happens. The unpredictable still happens. So, guys, think about it. Luck favors the prepared. This is not a normal attitude in our field. That's actually unfortunate, isn't it? I just doubt someone could mysteriously clock issue as a one-off and not go unnoticed. The laptop gave me all sorts of issues, so you never know. Like some laptops just might have a faulty power regulator or something. Who knows? Check those capacitors. Older laptops had a lot of electrolytics. They're problematic. Yep. Okay, guys, let's see. Let's go on to the next one. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. So, rule number 8, your network is your net worth. Think about that one for a moment. It's pretty powerful. Hang around with 5 successful people and you'll be the 6th one. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard that analogy before. If you affiliate yourself with those that you admire, you will start to acquire the same traits. You'll be more frugal, you'll be more punctual, you'll be more polite, you'll be more successful. Hang around with the people that you admire and you will start to pick up their traits. And if people see that you are starting to be successful, they're more apt to take you under their wings and help you. Think about it. People want to help people. The reason they usually don't is because they're not convinced it's worth their time and their energy. So if you associate yourself with successful people, you start duplicating their behaviors, you will naturally be more successful. But at the same time, people will bring you along for the ride. It's true. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about that one. It doesn't really matter because it's true. It's true. I grew up a redneck in the middle of nowhere, Michigan, on a farm. I grew up in a very poor family. And I can tell you for a fact that there are people that associate with me now that would never have associated with me if I was still that poor kid that still had the same behaviors and the same mentality years ago. I wasn't worthy of it. I wasn't worthy of their time or their energy. Your network is your net worth. So align yourself with the people that you want to assimilate to, and you will start to be more successful immediately. Think about that one. So that's rule number 8, guys. Now, I wanted to have 10 rules. And I don't know. I don't know if I should stick with those 8 or if I should write more. What do you guys think? Really kind of curious. Better biomed born. Get out of here, man. Oh, guys, I'll tell you, man. Oh, you know something? How about we write this one? Hold on. I should have had this one in there. Hold on. I'm going to write this one right now. Okay, so I don't know how I'm going to finish this one out. But this one here, especially in our career field, but not just in our career field, but all over the place. Never burn bridges. And I added a second sentence in there. And I added, unless you need to stay warm. Because I've actually said that to somebody before. I was told once before, don't burn any bridges. And some bridges you need to burn. Some of them are the aforementioned point. People that you don't want to assimilate to, some people that you don't want in your life. Well, here is the thing. Some people you don't want anything to do with. And I guess it still pertains to that. Be polite to them. Don't burn that bridge. Just don't affiliate with them anymore. It is pretty strong, man. Don't burn bridges. Don't burn bridges, guys. I just had a Biomed 1. He is graduating this week. I hired him for a job up around Dallas. He worked at that job for 1 week. He wrote me an email and it said, and I'm going to say it because I remember it. It's stuck in my brain that much. It embarrassed me. It embarrassed my company. I was pretty pissed off when I read it. So if you're watching this video, I'm talking to you. So this guy wrote me an email and it said, effective immediately. I am going back to work for my old company. I'm not a member, I'm not an employee of Phobie. We hired this guy for a contracted position, which means we as a company are still held liable to make sure that that position's filled. You tell me in the middle of the night, effective immediately, I am no longer working for your company. That means that we have to scramble the next morning to send somebody up there to fill in, because a contract is a contract. It's a legal liability. We said 40 hours a week we'll support 1 technician for your facility. If you tell me in the middle of the night that you are no longer working for me and my company, I'm talking to you if you're watching this, you are burning me and you're burning my company. I don't know how to say this and be modest. You burn me? If I ever have anybody in this state that says, hey, Justin, this guy here said that he used to work for you for a week. What happened? I will burn you. And I'm telling you for a fact, that is not professional behavior. Professional behavior. We are professionals. You do not write somebody in the middle of the night that says effective immediately, I'm no longer with your company. There are select circumstances when that might be okay. If somebody is sexually harassing you or if your life or health is in danger, that is acceptable. Just because you had an epiphany, and your old company offered you a lot of money to come back, that is a BS reason. Now, it's fine. You want to burn Phobie. You embarrassed my company. That's one thing. You embarrassed me. Guys, I am one of the loudest voices in this entire career field. You burn me? And that includes you companies that have burned me. Don't ever, ever hear about me reaching out to me because you need some help in the future or anything. Don't ever. I'll remember your name. I'll remember your company if you burn me. Don't burn any bridges. This guy, he burned a bridge. And I don't know how to say it modestly. You burned a pretty big bridge, because I've helped a lot of people get jobs. I know a lot of people in a lot of different companies around this country. And you burned me that way. I will never trust you again. Ever. Ever. I will never trust you again. If you're watching this video, shame on you. You didn't have that kind of decency. If you can't tell, I'm a little upset about it. You embarrassed me like that. So guys, Don, hey, Justin from Katie. Mr. Don, how's it going? Pay it forward. See, now pay it forward. People will take advantage of that. Now, I do believe in karma. Not in the sense that, you know, the religious sense of the karma. Not necessarily. But karma. Do unto others as you want done unto you. Isn't that like the basis of pretty much any society? Going back to the beginning of time. Do unto others as you want done unto you. Hold on. I'm gonna switch this up. Let's see. How can I do this? Split room, split desk. Hold on, guys. We're gonna figure this one out. I gotta relabel some of my things here. There we go. All right. So let's see. Never burn bridges. I will have to fix this one, but that was a good one. Karma. Karma is a good one. There's many ways of saying it, but it is definitely true. That's also one of those, lead by example, which I say behavior is contagious. That kind of falls under that one, but do unto others. And, that's kind of an important one. Let's see. There we go. So why is it do unto others is so important? So now I'm a third-party company. I can't tell you how many times biomeds have called up my company and just been complete shitheads. And I'm not saying this as a representative of Phoebe. I'm saying people call up and because they're the customer, they talk down at you. And it happens reasonably often. And it's not just my company, it happens all over the place. Vendors that come in to help hospitals, well, what a lot of those hospitals employees don't understand is that those vendors are part of their team. As soon as they walk in the door, you're on the same team, you have the same goal. Work together. But I can tell you for a fact that I've walked into hospitals as a contractor, and I'm just there to help solve their problems. And they start immediately talking down at you like you're less than them just because you're a contractor. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, I got other calls I can do. Shoot, I don't need this one. But, I've actually had to tell people before, hold on, guys. I'm here to help solve your problem. I mean, to be honest, I don't have this problem. This is you guys' problem. I'm here to help you. So let's work together on this, all right? Don't talk down at me, and don't talk down to my team. Don't talk down to other companies. We're on the same team. When they come in the door, we are on the same team. Now, I'm not saying that you should give them complete leeway. You still have to check their work, right? They're still a contractor. You're still the representative in charge of the safety of your facility. You still have to check their work. People still check my work. That's fine. Let's do it. I'll even show you what I did. But do unto others as you want done unto you. Isn't that such a simple thing to follow, and yet so few people do? I don't know, guys. More cliche stuff? No, my stuff is not cliche, guys. Or maybe it is, but I'm just explaining it to you in a different way. I don't know. Not to mention, if extra money got to him to return his old company, I wouldn't expect any loyalty from his old company either. That was an interesting situation. Still kind of upset about it because his old team leader just seen me the day before. The day before. He seen me at MD Expo, came up to me and talked to me about how he used to be at his company. The whole time, he's lying to me. The whole time, he's entering into negotiations with his previous employee to try and get him back. And you looked me in the eye and you lied to me. That company, I remember you. Same thing. That's unprofessional. It's one thing if you want your employee back. If I have somebody that wants to go to another company, I tell them, give them notice. Give them notice. Do not. I don't care if you only worked for me for one day. You have to give notice. Notice is a professional courtesy. You don't give that notice, I think less of you automatically. Facts. So, no matter what, this company entered into negotiations and started him back immediately, which they knew that they were burning me. And that company, kind of a big company. It's funny because I know the vice president of HTM for that company. He sees me at all these shows and stuff. He probably didn't even know that this guy was doing this. Your team leader encourage bad behavior from a technician. That is unprofessional. It looks badly on your large company. This is a very large company, not Trimedics, not GE, not one of those. It's another third-party company, but very large, very large. And they did this. Now, it's one thing technicians go from company to company, but I always encourage people to use professional courtesy. Always give notice, and sufficient notice. And if you're a team leader, I expect more than 2-week notice, because there's more stuff that has to align. If you're a team leader, I say almost a month notice, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's usually, if you're that far up the chain and you're switching to a new career field and you say, hey, I need to give them a month notice, they're almost always okay with it, because they understand. There's a lot of loose ends when you're that far up the chain that you have to tie up. You have to tie up work orders, you have to tie up existing contracts, you have to tie up parts that have been purchased, you have to make sure that all the books are good when you leave. If you don't, you're leaving a hole and you're setting somebody up, or your entire team or your whole company, you're setting them up for failure. So whenever somebody says, I need extra time to come, be part of my team, it's okay. I'll give you a month. I'll give you 2 months. If that's what it takes to get the books in order, let's do it. I'll wait for you. Man, I'll tell you, I've been through some stuff lately too. Carrie says, I too have helped many people. I too have had people do bad things. I understand your anger. It's not eating me up inside. It's not eating me up inside. All I'm saying is don't burn bridges. Don't burn bridges, guys. We are a small career field. And if you burn some guy that was a team leader in Florida, yeah, you might have spoiled your odds for Florida. You burn me, if anybody across the country says, hey, this guy says he used to work for you for even 1 week, anybody, it could be Alaska, calls me up and says, hey, this guy's interested. A lot of people know who I am. You burn me, you burn a pretty big bridge, because I go way out of my way to help people get jobs and stuff. I will never help you again. Facts. It's not eating me up inside, but I'll remember you. That's for a fact. As for customers who treat you like crap, make it perfectly clear the reason why we're there. Patient care. Well, we're on the same team. And that's what I tell them. Hey guys, we're on the same team. I understand questioning costs. I understand questioning work. You should be inspecting your contractor's work. But it's just one of those things, guys. We're on the same team. When I'm in the building, it's game on. And I want them to be game on too. Like if I ask for help, like, hey, I need a ladder, or hey, I need somebody to contact facilities, and I need a facilities guys to make sure that this breaker's cut off. It's a team. I need you to do what you need to do, so I can do what I need to do. We're on the same team. All right, guys. So that puts me at, how many rules? 8. That actually puts me at 10. All right, I'm going to save that. File save. There we go. Save. Okay. Let's close this one. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Me and Windows are having a complication. File save. So, I know that was an interesting one. Yes, it may seem like some of these are cliche. I'm not a cliche type of guy. I wrote these rules while I was sitting in an airport. I tell people this stuff all the time. Like, people buy into what they relate to. If I say to go and do rounds, and people are like, why are we doing rounds? It's so ridiculous. Nothing's ever broke anyway. It's because people buy into what they relate to. If they don't even know your name, how can they relate to you? How will they confide in you when they do experience something that's irregular? That's that relationship that we have with caretakers. We need to have that relationship. So guys, that's my 10 rules. We got the 10. So this is one of those speeches, as I'm saying it to you guys, that's basically the speech that I'm going to give, I don't know, maybe next year? Coming up in August, I'm going to be giving a couple speeches coming up, I think. I'm giving the keynote out there in Colorado. And I think this is some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about. No, I'm talking about rules of repair, which is a speech that I've been giving for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, which I've gotten pretty good at. But now I'm doing the rules of life. So we're going to do the rules of repair and the rules of life, maybe in the same speech. And I might have to truncate them down. Every time I give the speech, it's always different. It's always different. But these are things I really believe in. The rules of repair, I completely believe in. And guys, I don't have that one posted. I have an old video from 4.5 years ago on the rules of repair. But believe it or not, I've had some mentorship, and I've had people in my life that have helped me refine those, and I have added to them. And I have now a better rules of repair, and I have it recorded once. I've given this speech sometimes in front of 100+ people on the rules of repair. But since I'm giving keynote in August, I think I'm going to wait until after the keynote to post the video. It's really rare for me, but I think, I don't know what you guys think, but I have one more large speech to give. I'm also probably going to give that speech in June 1st in Michigan. The first time I mentioned that one. I'm going to be up in Michigan, y'all. We're going to try and have a biomed meetup, so that's going to be good times too. But so I haven't talked about the rules of repair in years on video. I have recorded it. I haven't posted it. And that's because I'm giving keynote, and I kind of feel, since a lot of my viewers are like all over the place, it would only be fair if I just wait until August to post that one. I don't know how you guys feel, but anyway, it's just the way it is. I didn't say it was cliche. Well, I know that, Marius, that you didn't say it was cliche. You were expecting cliche, but it wasn't. In some ways, it is cliche. I just phrased some things differently. Just the same, friends have horror stories, vendor salespeople behaving badly. It happens both ways. Again, do unto others how you want done to you. If you come into my facility, into my house, I expect you to behave yourself, abide by the rules, and be an active participant in patient safety. If you are not, you're not on my team, and we have a problem. Just thinking about that. Just asking your customers for payment shouldn't even be a problem if they're legit. If only. If only. I've got customers that haven't paid me since December. Big company. Big company. I did that whole video called Bad Business. So many people wrote me asking, who is this company that is refusing to pay you, and that reached out to you for an emergency help, and they now refuse to pay you. Big company. Or everybody thinks they're big. Out in California. Not Avante. Not a lot of those other companies that people were saying. It's somebody else. But anyway, yeah, they should pay, right? It's an honor thing. I don't want him to have this feeling, some people, that it was cliche. No, Marius, that's not what it was. No, I understood what you're saying. It's all good. Following vendor techs around is good advice. You know, I don't know how I feel about that one. Because the vendor usually knows what they have to do. Now, if you're escorting them to help them locate the equipment and stuff, I believe in that. But do you know that many biomeds sit there and dick around while they're sitting there servicing their equipment? I had one biomed teammate who would sit there for like 6 hours while the ASP technician's working on the plasma. It's like, why are you sitting there? Why? It's not like you can get the parts to do that anyway. In other words, I'd send you to training. Plus, maybe I don't trust you to do those kind of PMs anyway. But he would do that. He would follow them around. He'd sit there and chit-chat with them for the 6 hours that they took to do their PMs. Just dicking around, wasting time. That's another Dave story. I got plenty of those. Let's see. Nero agreed. I have vendors that lie and say Biomed was not doing a good job on their FACO. Oh, well, FACOs are one of those things that I almost think that should be contracted out. Maybe that's just me. There are those who would have a great relationship with. Well, guys, what do you guys think? So that's my 10 rules And now I really want to get you guys' opinion because I have the video on rules of repair. I have the old video, but I'm thinking about taking that one down. It's one of the first videos I ever recorded. Thinking about taking it down because it's outdated and I got a better one. But do you guys think I should wait to post until after my big presentation coming up in August? Or should I post it ahead of time? I'm just curious. It is stuff that's going to benefit the entire repair community, not just biomed. It's every repair job. If the rules of repair apply to all of us, but I have this feeling of reservation, like I should wait until August when I give my keynote for Colorado and then just release it publicly. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. I don't know what I should do. But this one here, this is the preliminary for this event for the rules of life. And I'm going to call it that. And I'm going to post this one around. We'll see what everybody says. Anyway, I'm just curious about what you guys think about the rules of repair. If I should post the new video or if I should just wait. What do you guys think? Include it with your presentation. Well, okay, so here's the thing. I was thinking about doing that because every time you give a presentation, you get better and better at it, right? So I was thinking that I was just going to record the Colorado presentation because Colorado's a big biomed association. So I was thinking about setting the camera up maybe in the back and recording it like the auditorium or wherever I'm going to be. And then show people, because even how I give presentations now is completely different than how I used to. I would like to think it's gotten a wee bit better. It's kind of like this. It's conversational. Compared to like when I first got started. You know, I hate public speaking the same as everybody else, but at the same time, I love the challenge. So that's why I'm doing it. But I joined late. Going to restart the video when it's done. See you. Well, I'll tell you what. I would restart that video in a heartbeat, guys, because there's some good points in there. Okay. All right. I'm going to get some guidance from you guys. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. I appreciate your input. I'm going to think about it. And those last two rules, I might rewrite them a little bit, but I think those are solid, real solid. So that would be my 10 rules of life. And those are pretty good rules. You follow those, you're probably going to have a better life than most people around you. Isn't that funny? Rules of repair was, if you follow these rules, this line of ethics, you're going to be more successful than your peers. Guaranteed. This one here is you're just going to have a better life than the people around you if you follow these rules. How about that? Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching very much. Enjoy your weekend. I know I will. I'm going to try anyway. But I'm going to go in and play with the kids and have a good old time. And my dog is over here making a lot of weird noises. So rude. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your weekend. And HTM week is coming up, guys. Remember, the week after this, HTM week, it's going to be good times. I have a lot of videos that are going to be coming out this week, next week. So stay tuned. I've got a professional editor that's working with me now. We're gonna produce better content than we've historically done. That's a promise.